CEO Ron Nicola from Creating the Difference. Going to talk to you about the Hellraiser Blaze ball from DV8. This ball's finished 500 grit, 1000 grit Sierra, which means this is going to be early and a lot of hook. The RG is 2.537, the differential is 0.053, and the intermediate differential is 16. Got my man Billy Levant doing some ball testing for us. He's going to throw the ball for us so we can kind of see what the Blaze is all about. Got to the friction. Ooh, she kind of split the 8-9 there. That was a good pitch. Interesting. So we'll have him do that again. That looked pretty good. Now Billy's using a CTD power pad to wipe off his bowling ball every shot. And the reason why he's doing that is because you want the oil to be off the ball. The oil can help add a consistency to the ball reaction. Nobody wants that. So wipe your bowling ball off every shot and keep your reaction as consistent as possible. All right, so that shot was definitely just a little bit different, right? So let's see the difference. That ball didn't recover, and it was in, right? So it was in, and the angle was a little bit further to the right, which made it go further to the right, and then obviously it couldn't recover. So that's kind of interesting to take note of. Typically, strong balls are like that. If you've got a shiny ball, the shiny balls can tend to make up those kind of misses, but the duller, more traction type ball reaction, the earlier rolling balls, typically don't tend to do as well in that particular situation. And this ball reaction is a traction ball reaction. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, just type in Ronald Hicklin 4 types of ball motion on YouTube and you'll be able to see exactly what the 4 types of ball motion are. See, a little straighter, definitely gonna be able to get that ball right in the pocket. Now what that also means is that this bowling ball is gonna be best for the fresh condition, which is what we're bowling on. This is a fresh condition. And this is gonna give him an opportunity to maybe miss in a little bit, right? He doesn't have the miss room right. Maybe he can miss in a little bit and still get the bowling ball to strike. You can see there the yellow line, that shot was definitely not as far right as the prior one, and as a result of that, it was able to come back. So this time, Billy, I want to see you maybe move in a little bit, maybe miss in a little bit, and let's see if this bowling ball can strike when it gets into some oil. Got it in a little bit. Ouch. So that's what we asked for. You'll see the shot show up here. So it was in, just like I asked, and it actually got, it still stayed in the whole way, but just did not recover, which means that ball did not like the additional oil. So what that means is this piece is going to be a piece that is going to be best on the fresh. It's going to be best to be squared up to the lane, playing more straighter. And then when the ball begins to hook too early and not enough down lane, it is a red flag to go put that ball away out of your bag. So throw me one more shot here, Billy. Now he splits the difference. He's probably gonna be close. Just like so. Tim back. So now he did that, just what I asked for. And you can kind of see there, that is exactly what we're looking for ball motion wise. What I want to show you next is what happens when we change the ball motion from a traction ball, like this ball is, to an angular ball. I just want you to be able to see a little bit of the difference in reaction between these balls. So just hang on for one quick second and we're going to bring in another bowling ball that's considered angular. So now we're going to show you the difference between a traction ball like the Hellraiser Blaze and an angular ball. So we're going to throw this dark code, which is actually an angular piece, and we're going to show you the difference in reaction. All right, so now we're going to kind of do the same kind of thing. We're going to see the shape. We're going to actually have him miss further to the right to watch how that ball is able to recover. Now you can see it's in the oil for quite a bit of time there, but then once it gets out of the oil, is able to make a move. And I think that once he gets it further to the right, you'll be able to see how the angular ball can actually kind of benefit from that additional friction, and the ball will recover. Whereas with the traction ball, you don't tend to get that recovery when you miss to the right. You're more likely to get a little bit of hold, which means straighter and missing left, it still holds the strike. Angular balls You can miss to the right, and they'll recover. So that's definitely further right. And there's the recovery that we're looking for. So that's kind of the difference, right? Like, one of the things to note here is that with the angular ball, you can see the yellow line is the second one he just threw. He missed further to the right, and that ball still made up all the difference in the back. When we did that with the traction ball would not bring up or make up the difference and recover. So let's grab we're gonna grab the Hellraiser Blaze, and we're gonna kind of repeat that same scenario just one more time. I want people to be able to kind of get a good difference between a angular ball and a traction ball. So Hellraiser Blaze, we'll leave the lights off this time so you can actually kind of see the shape, but I want you to see the difference when he has that line that's kind of lined to the pocket and then misses to the right. So traction ball, rolly, able to get a strike. That was a great shot. Actually that overlapped it. Now we're going to miss to the right like the white line is, and we're going to be able to give you that final comparison between a traction ball, which is strong and good, like the Hellraiser Blaze is just demonstrating. But when you get it to the right, you do not get that ball to be able to pick up and recover as well, because it's traction ball. It's meant to be thrown in the heavier old environment. So that's further to the right. Oh, look at that. It actually did recover. That's good. That's a good sign. That's a really, really good sign. Because what that means is that there is some usability when the pattern is still fairly fresh. Let's get it. Let's do that again. Get it even further to the right. Now I want to kind of see, get it to the left this time. Get it in the oil. I want to kind of see how this ball, from a traction ball standpoint, compares to the angular ball more in the oil. That was pretty cool. So we'll get it in the oil this time in the darker blue area. All right, so maybe not that much. We'll have to get a little more angle to the front part of the lane, but that's okay. He'll throw it again. He'll move in, he'll create a little bit of angle to the front part of the lane. That will still allow him to stay in the oil, which is, I'm telling you, is where traction balls actually like and thrive. And the reason being is because traction balls, when they're in the oil, they can still begin to pick up a little bit. And that picking up a little bit is what allows them to be able to strike, whereas angular balls in the oil tend to kind of over push and then they can't strike. So. All right, so we're gonna get it in the oil, keep it in the blue longer, the darker blue portion of the lane a lot longer this time, and get this bowling ball to be in kind of its home condition, home environment. There we go. So just a little bit too much oil right there for that ball, which is fine. So now he'll just kind of square up a little bit, and then that'll allow him to get to the pocket. Oh, you gotta get the man a full rack. What are we doing? He's bowling and can't even get him a full rack. Let's fix that real quick. So we want him in the oil. Just obviously there can be too much oil too, so. That one was right. You can see that shot was definitely right. So we're gonna get it in the oil, and then we're gonna be able to show you that same kind of shot with the angular ball. There we go. All right, so blower 710 when he got it in the oil. That wasn't a bad shot. The ball just didn't quite recover enough to be able to strike. So same thing now, dark code, right there, right there. I'm really curious to see how that ball performs right there. It's kind of a good way for you at home to have a little better understanding about the different types of ball motion and kind of what they do and when they're usable, when they're not usable. So this is good. Similar type shot. Definitely a swisher hit there. See, those balls were pretty close. And definitely kind of a swisher hit. Well, now you've got some more information about that brand new Traction Hellraiser Blaze ball. You can get that bowling ball at bowlingforless.com. If you're a staff member, you can actually get a little bit of a discount on that ball. And on behalf of Billy Levan, I am CEO, Running with Great Difference. Talk to you soon.